What is up, guys? Sophia here, and I am back with another topic. If you are new, then don't forget to subscribe so you can stay updated on all of my content. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell. And also don't forget to check the description box because I always put a lot of stuff in there, specifically my book for single women, which you may be interested in, because what we're going to be talking about today is the type of games men play and when you should let go. So I'm going to actually go into a case study of Married at First Sight, Chris and Paige, because to me, this is a common situation that so many women find themselves in. I know I have dated somebody like Chris before as well. And what I have noticed is that the type of women that normally are susceptible to these sort of games are Christian women. And the reason why is because men sometimes feel like, oh, Christian women are so forgiving, and we are, and they feel like they can take advantage of us. On the caveat side, as a Christian woman myself, that is not what we're doing. That is not what God wants for you, okay? You know, yes, we can be forgiven, but I have a video and I'll link it down in the description box that sometimes you got to forgive from a distance. Just because God says forgive don't mean that you have to continuously allow the wrong type of man into your life, allowing them to use and abuse you. I don't know where we get this from. And also very people-pleasing women and naive and gullible women. So why don't we go ahead and get on into each step of the way of what happened. So first, with Chris and Paige, the first red flag that he did was basically harping or trying to make Paige feel like have less self-esteem, right? So basically what happened was that after they got married at first sight, Chris basically told Paige, oh, you're my wife, and used the whole Christian thing against her. We need to have sex, blah, blah, blah. They did. They had sex twice. And then the morning of, he basically told her that he was not attracted to her.
I've never been with a man who wants to have sex multiple times that didn't desire me or didn't find me attractive.
Which is a very mean thing, because first of all, you was attracted enough to get your thing up and put it in her and have sex with her multiple times. But the reason why men kind of do this is because they want to get you eating out of the palm of their hand. Some toxic men, what toxic men do, feel like, oh, if I can pick and harp and do this, that, and the third to her, then basically I can always have her jumping through hoops and listening to what I say. And whenever I say jump, the only thing that she's going to say is how high. And first of all, if a man is talking to you, because this is Married at First Sight, this is a very extreme example, but in real life, if a man is talking to you and he asking you for your number, then therefore you are attracted to me. On any given time, if you are not attracted to me, then you need to go about your way. Do not come to me and tell me after you have slept with me about how unattractive you find me. That's some foul stuff. So whenever you see that sort of behavior, you need to bounce. The second thing is that he got another woman pregnant. And not only because he did get another woman pregnant before their marriage, that's neither here nor there, but I want to make a couple of points in this, is that sometimes we need to learn to walk away from toxic situations. If this is a situation, just because you are with him and let's say he got another woman pregnant like 3 weeks before he met you, that don't mean that you have to stay.
I found out last week that ex-fiance was pregnant, and
Paige, do you want a divorce?
okay.
We have to stop normalizing this. Oh, well, you know, I have to come up with every excuse under the sun as to why I need to stay with this man because, you know, this happened before me. No, if you know that some things are just not going to fit in your life, such as a man having a pregnant woman and a baby and you just met him 5 seconds ago, then sometimes we have to enact common sense. Are you helping or are you hurting my life? And do I want to be privy to the drama that you are about to bring in my life? Especially for Chris, because he didn't even take responsibilities for his actions. The fact of the matter is that the Married at Sight process was a very long time, and he just had sex with that woman less than a month ago. And if somebody was really prepared for marriage, he should not be having sex and unprotected sex with another person, period. You know, this is a very specific example, but how this can apply to you is that if you are with a man and he keeps doing you wrong, talking to you wrong, and doing actions that will make your life miserable and that will bring drama into into your life, stop listening to his excuses. Either he as a man is going to take responsibility for what he has done, and if he wants to fix it with you, then he is going to go above and beyond to try to do that. And if he's not, you need to go ahead and let him go. Don't try to continuously accept somebody's all the toxic crap that they've been making in their own life and try to bring it on to you, all because you want to be in a relationship, right? So the next thing that he did was an intentional, and I do mean intentional, hurtful situation. Some men intentionally hurt women because they low-key get off on it, right? Because what Chris did was that he brought his baby mama a car with a woman that was pregnant who turned out not to be pregnant at the end, but he bought her a Mercedes or a Benz, and he did not even consult his wife.
This week, I bought her a brand new Benz.
The issue is that A, he didn't consult his wife, right? The B is that why are you buying your response? Even if his wife decided to stay with him in this situation, his responsibility is to the unborn child, not to the woman, and not to be buying this woman a better car than his wife is driving around in. A Benz, really? And so when men do this, and you will see that his demeanor was like, oh, I just wanted to provide for my child. No, you intentionally hurt your wife, because no sane person or sane man would do this type of thing and not know that it is going to cause the other person hurt. So it's like, if you are in a situation and the man that you are with is continuously putting other women before you, intentionally doing things to cause you hurt, or intentionally not consulting you in the decisions, especially if you're married, then you should be concerned. And this is once again a situation in which you should walk away. So next, let's get into the hot and the cold behavior. So typically after the cold, which means that a man does something very stupid, then comes the hot. So in this particular situation, him and Paige and Chris had a counseling session with Pastor Cal. The session was a hot mess because they basically just went over the stuff I just told you. And then after this, Chris, mind you, he has said, I am not attracted to this woman. Somebody else is pregnant. He has told her, I want to leave you. And then all of a sudden he does this.
Okay. Chris is whispering that his fear is falling in love with me.
So what this is notice that whenever he has Paige and he wants to do some of this hot behavior after being cold, you will notice that he always does it when he's not around other people, because it is very easy for men to manipulate women and to get them and to feed them whatever narrative they want to feed them when they are alone. And if you look at her reaction, it's like she's all happy thinking, oh, wow, he really no, he doesn't love you. He doesn't care about you. He's a narcissist. This is insane. But this type of hot behavior of, oh, let me keep her warm is let me do this in case, what I'm doing over here don't work out, or in case I want to come back, or because I always want to get her in this space of confusion where she never knows which me she's going to get. And all of that is games. If somebody disrespects you, you walk away, period. That's it. It's not, oh, he said he don't like me and he found me unattractive and he bought his baby mama a car and he didn't consult me, but he said he still liked me though. Like, let's be real. No. So next, we are going to get into some of the gaslighting. So what men typically do, especially when they're bad men, is that they will gaslight to masquerade all of the nonsense that they're doing in the relationship, which of course, this is a bunch of nonsense, right? And they will try to make it seem like, oh, you, the woman, didn't try hard enough.
What I need is not being met emotionally.
For you to say, like, I'm not meeting your emotional needs, like, where was you when I needed you emotionally?
So what this does is, like I said, when you create a situation, especially for people-pleasing women or Christian women or women who always want to try to do the right thing, especially sometimes I think that this can happen when people are so desperate to have a man will continuously tell you, and I addressed this on another video, I'm going to put it down in the description box, but a man will continuously tell you what you are not doing when realistically he is the problem in the relationship. But all of this is to kind of keep you confused and focused on what you're not doing and not focused on what he's not doing. So that's why it's important to know where you stand in a relationship. If you know that you have been a good woman, if you know that you have given your all, if you know that you are meeting his needs to the best of your ability, do not let another man come in and tell you otherwise, okay? Because then you're going to be trying to meet unrealistic expectations of him. And even FKA Twigs did this. I have a video on her as well, and I'll put that in there with Shia LaBeouf. It was the same thing. She was always trying to make him happy, trying, because he was painting her out as the problem and him out as the good person, when realistically he's the problem and he's just trying to get the woman eating out of the palm of his hand. So the last example that I want to get into is another hot and cold, but it's also keeping you on the back burner. So after everything was said and done, Paige and Chris finally got to separate. And then all of a sudden on decision day, he lets the cat out of the bag that homegirl's not pregnant and all this stuff. And then he wants to get back with Paige. And the way that he creates this dramatic event is to isolate Paige, to get her outside, which he does alone, to talk to her, and then he confuses her, which she confusing herself because she got to take personal responsibility too. But at this point, it's like, oh, now she's like, oh, but this can work. But realistically speaking, right, it can't work.
It's time for you to make a decision. Do you want to stay married or do you want to get a divorce?
I think that we are undecided. And that might...
I feel like you're doing this to play with her.
Look at all of the stuff that I just mentioned and see, this is what men do like him, not all men like him, is that they keep women in the state of confusion with all of these games listed above. And so that when they get ready to pick you up again and say that they want you back, that you will be in a situation willing to come back to them. And it's like, it'll have you so confused and have the blinders on because of all these games that he played, that a woman is genuinely like, oh, well, it wasn't that bad, when really it is that bad. And see, that's why not only do you need to be king to the games that the men are playing, you need to have high self-esteem so you don't allow men to play these games on you. You have to stop being so desperate and willing to jump through hoops for any and everything. You have to stop letting men use your niceness, your Christianity, and your faith against you as a way to use and abuse you. And the most important thing is that you have to be willing to walk away when you don't get what you want, no questions asked, period. And that is the main thing that women need to do, because after all of this, Paige is going to have to get some therapy. Every time you accept somebody like this in your life and you go through this crazy relationship cycle with them, that causes damage on you. So you have to limit and cut off, as soon as you see it, men who display toxic behaviors, and you can't always try to be the one to fix or stay in relationships that are not good for you. All right, guys. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you guys another day, another time. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye, y'all. Not ready for the show to end? It doesn't have to. You can head over to my site where you can read hundreds of articles. And also you can feel free to shop my store where I have all of my products for sale. And last but not least, for even more video content, feel free to visit my YouTube channel where I talk about a wide array of content. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and until next time, stay blessed.